So I'm spending time with our builder's garden expert, Tanya Visser, this morning, and she always gives us those top tips, making sure our plants look absolutely beautiful. This morning, we're talking about indoor plants. We all have them in our homes. They look absolutely beautiful, but we want to make sure we take proper care.
Well, the sad thing about indoor plants is that generally the moment that you bring them into your house, from there it's just downhill. They kind of like die a very slow death. So what we want to share with you this morning is how can you look after them and how can you get the most of them. And the most important reason is about the lighting. It's about where they need to go. So we have plants that grow in low light, in medium light, and in high light. And that's what we need to establish. The biggest mistake we make is that we say, oh, this plant will look nice over here. But that might not be the right light for the plant.
So basically, look at your house, see some of the areas that you want to put a plant, and then buy those plants accordingly.
Correct. For instance, this plant on my right is a spathiphyllum, which gets a beautiful white flower. It's called the peace lily. That can grow in really low light. So when we're talking about low light, that would be like at the end of a passage where there are no windows. The anthurium over here can grow in a medium light to a low light. This gets beautiful flowers right throughout the winter and into the spring months. And if we cut this guy off, take a look at that. I mean, they make beautiful cut flowers. This flower will last in a vase for up to 4 weeks.
What I love about this flower, it's so beautiful, it's almost fake.
100%. So it's really important that you understand what kind of light you're dealing with. Ferns can grow in medium light. And when I'm talking about medium light, I'm meaning if there's a window close by to wherever you're going to be putting the plant. Remember, most indoor plants don't like direct light, so sun beating in directly onto them, because that's when the leaves turn yellow and they start dying.
So how do we go about properly caring for these guys?
What we need to do is, first of all, we've got to find a nice pot to be able to put it into, because nobody really wants to look at this black pot. So what we'd normally get is what we call a pot cover, which could be anything from a bucket like this. It could be a beautiful glazed pot, as long as it just holds the moisture. So we would just take this little baby, and we just pop it into here.
And look at that, instant beauty.
Instantly gorgeous. Now, if you don't want to look down at it and see all the mechanisms, then we can use various options, like we've got this beautiful green sphagnum moss, which is brilliant, or we can use the macadamia nut shells. And that you would then just put around it, and that just finishes it off. Now comes the trick about watering. Most times we kill our plants by overwatering the indoor plants.
Okay.
Okay, they should only be watered once every 7 to 10 days.
Right, okay.
Standard rule, all right? And the other thing is you don't water it in this pot. That's why it's called a pot cover. The best way is to take it out, put it maybe in the sink or on a surface where you can water it, give it a good watering, wait till all the water runs out, and then put it back inside its pot cover. The other thing is about plant food. We need to make sure that we give them some kind of food, because they're in that little pot, and the only nutrition they're going to get is what we give them. So whatever it is, if it's sea salt, if it's nitrosol, if it's multi-feed, so all you do, follow the instruction, mix it into your watering can, and then give your plants a good water. So as you're watering them, so you're feeding them. The other thing is, keep armed with a pair of secateurs, and where there are any dead or dying leaves or branches that have been kind of damaged, you're just going to prune those off to make sure that the plant stays looking neat.
And then I see there's a little spray can, or well, not a little spray can.
Ah, this is gorgeous stuff. All right, so what this is, it basically is a leaf cleaner, because if you think about your indoor plants are going to be exposed to dust, and all you're going to do is just spray onto the leaf, and you'd probably only do this once a month.
And look at that, instant shine.
100%. And you know, with indoor plants, there are few rules, as we've said. Very, very few rules. It's about watering, it's about the light, and it's about caring for these little babies.
Some TLC.
100%.
Love it. Thank you so much, Tanya. So for these indoor plant tips and many more from Tanya, you can always log on to our website, expressoshow.com.